we would be discussing student intimidations in the class.
After intimidation, you can't stop it. It will still exist. So the best is that you work on it.
In a really harsh way.
Very harsh.
Like sit down.
Very harsh.
Why are you asking?
Sit down, yeah.
Or some just ignore you. You ask the question, he keeps quiet and like yes, let's move.
Like seriously, like you really asking me that question.
Are you serious?
And then the whole class is like,
And then you will
Yeah,
never
yeah.
speak up again.
Intimidation very good.
How does intimidation come?
It's very good.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Hello Students. My name is Mohammed Nafari and today I'm joined here with my fellow colleagues and we will be discussing student intimidations in the classroom. So for instance, you'll be wondering what's a student intimidation? So I just want to give an instance to clarify it. So you were in class and then you wanted to ask a question. But then when you raise your hand to ask the question, a friend of yours giggles at you. And then now your confidence is shattered. You don't know what to do. That is what basically the conversation is going to revolve around. And then also, you might be asking a question. In the process of asking the question, or after you have asked the question, then your lecturer goes or your teacher goes like, so why don't you understand this thing? It looks too basic for you not to understand. All these are challenges we face in the classroom, and not much has been spoken about it yet. So what we'll be doing here is that we are situating the conversation in that context and helping us find solutions so as we can be able to have better academic performances. So before you say anything, you introduce yourself and then you make your contribution. So I'll start from my extreme left with Clever.
Okay. Hello guys, my name is Desmond Clever and yeah, I'm here with my people, my beautiful people right here. I think intimidation as an incident has happened to me before in classroom a whole bunch of times. Yeah. But I would like to ask this question. I think most lecturers or teachers or tutors use this form of, they see it as disciplining students, but is it really the right approach of going about it? I think intimidation takes many forms. It could be yelling, it could be scolding and all that. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll come back to go into the details of it, whether scolding, yelling, and how it plays out in intimidation. What it happens when you are being intimidated. Do you have something, Ebenezer?
Yes, please. I'm Ebenezer also. Level 300 student reading philosophy and sociology. And basically, when you talk about intimidation, that is talking about that is a reduction in the confidence of someone, and not specifically that asking questions in class, but then even your dressing, it can be implied or not implied. Sometimes you will see someone's dressing and you're like, no, they're not supposed to be in the rest of Ghana and then other stuff. So I'm sure that it can be implied or not implied.
So from what I get, you are saying that there's implications. It could be dressing. It doesn't really happen in the classroom. Even before you enter the classroom, you could be intimidated before. And so, Florisita, do you have any experience with yelling as a form of intimidation or scolding or something? Has there been an instance where you have been intimidated?
Well, my name is Florisita, as you already said, and I don't think I've experienced anything like that from a lecturer or from any other students. But me, myself, I intimidate myself sometimes because sometimes there are cases where you come to class and then you see someone dressed in a way, or you feel like you're not dressed properly, you're not looking nice or something, and then you can't even get up or something to ask a question in class because some lecturers require you to stand up and then ask them questions. So yeah, in cases like that, I feel like I intimidate myself.
Oh, okay, so if I get you right, you are talking of self-intimidation, like you are intimidating yourself. Okay, I think that is also brilliant.
I'm Nanaya, a level 300 student reading sociology and linguistics. And with what we're discussing about, I think one way that we get intimidated is intelligence of others, especially when we realize we are like the way we are seated. I realized that her point she made is wow, that one too is very nice. Like I see them as very intelligent than I am, so I'll be like, the kind of group I find myself in, I can't really express myself. I can't really talk much because the people here are far intelligent than I am. So when we try to see others as intelligent than we are, it makes us feel intimidated.
I'm Manuel Emmanuel.
bad. I can recall that was level 100 or so. When I stood up in class to ask a question, it sounded like I'm always asking a question. So it has really discouraged my confidence in me, and it has become something like a norm. Anytime I'm in class, even though if I know the thing, I decided to be mute about it. This thing is really hurting. And I think it's not good.
Well, continuing from where Manuel left off, like I think student intimidation also like plays a major role in all of this, because sometimes someone talks and then you're sitting there, you have something to say, but it's like, hey, this person said something that's really, really like smart, and like you feel like what you're going to say is nonsense, and then you start feeling some way. So then it brings down your confidence, and then also what the students around you would say. Sometimes you ask a question, someone is like, what's she saying? Like, it doesn't make sense. You should know this. And they do not consider the fact that they might be smart, but you are not. Or like you pick up things slowly and they pick up things like fast. Do you get it? So like that's what
if I'm getting you right, you're thinking of like you have different ways of catching up or understanding.
Yeah.
So we should
and
have
people
that
do not want like
empathy.
I don't know if they do not want to understand it, or they just
sometimes
want to intimidate you. Because some people do it intentionally.
Yeah.
Some people will just like say something like, sit down, stuff like that.
Because I remember sometime when we are even having a discussion and then they are like, oh, so what do you think about the subject matter? And we'll be like, even Professor Farah has spoken. Now me and students, what's you have to say to counter it? But then I think it's not a problem. Do you have something to say?
Yeah, as I already said, is it really the right approach of disciplining students? Or
so you are talking of from the lecturer's perspective. So
yes,
for instance, you want to ask a question and then the lecturer goes like, the lecturer is expecting you to know certain things.
Yeah,
and you're asking if it's right.
Yeah, as you said earlier, you have to know it because he thinks it's basic for you. It's basic for you to know it. So why would you ask me this question? Because I've already done that. Why would you draw me back? You know? I'm in a hurry to complete this syllabus or whatever.
So some do it in a really harsh way.
Very harsh.
Like sit down.
Very harsh.
Why are you asking me?
Sit down, yeah.
Or some just ignore you. Yeah. You ask the question, he keeps quiet and like yes, let's move on.
Like serious, like you really asking me that question.
Are you serious?
And then the whole classroom. Like,
and then you will never speak up again.
So you people are basically talking about classroom. You've forgotten that I also do politics. So sometimes there are various intimidations there. Alright, so way back in level 100, I joined the University of Ghana Accra City Campus Parliament House. And I met these people in which they are from that's the big high schools and etc. So they started speaking, and then when I just rose and asked that so why is it that this is happening and everything. So we have the person telling them I'm the deputy majority leader, just that I was in the majority. So
you know, right?
Exactly. So they started to heckle me. So in parliament we call something like heckling. So when someone just stands to talk, then you have to just say like who you understand? Yes,
just to downplay the opinion of that person.
Exactly. I felt shy. I nearly cried, and I remember you saw a video of that. Why are you intimidating me? That was the question that I asked. So why are you intimidating me? You understand? I didn't know. I got so emotional. But then here is the case that I am even doing more than what they were doing to others.
Right. Why are you doing
is that intentional?
That is intentional because I want to win.
Is that like the norm over there? Like, is that what you guys are supposed to do to each other?
When it comes to parliament, it is a debate. It is something that we have to debate on. And if your point you are making, one, makes sense, you don't want people to hear.
Oh,
you understand? So it is one of the strategies that we can use to win.
Isn't that necessary evil?
We can even say, look at his shoe.
Like a necessary evil. We are intentionally doing it.
Yes.
What do you think of the person you are doing it to?
No, you see, it happened to me. So what I did was to try to make sure that I would not even be intimidated by someone, because I experienced some on city campus, even on main campus too. The likes of some people that I don't want to mention their names. Yes, it happened. Okay, so it built me up, and then I realized that no, I have to still work on this intimidation and everything. So I started reading books and everything. Yes. So now I'm focused. No matter the intimidation, no matter the crime, no matter how any issue, no, I would have to just speak, and that's all.
I can
Well, at
relate.
least you-
I can really relate to what David just said. Because I remember we came to level 100. I normally sit in front of the class, and because I don't want to be distracted. I don't want to be distracted by anybody, so I just want to hear everything lecture so I can ask questions. But I realized that anytime after lectures, the lecture hall, do you have any question? I'll raise my hand and ask a question because I don't really understand what is going on. So, but at level 100 from different SHS, big SHS, and so those who are coming from the high secondary schools and the rest, they try to be like, now who is this girl that she's always trying to ask questions when they're hurry to close and want to end their class and are you asking questions? But I was like, I don't understand it, so just allow me to flow. But it got to a time people would start talking, you just be passing, you hear people talking about you just trying to do anything to intimidate you, like
so the next time you
just ask questions in class.
Don't delay the
Come
class.
to think of it, I don't understand, you're all paying the fees. I don't understand what is going on in the class. So if the lecturer is teaching, I don't understand. I pay the fees, you pay the same amount. I have to ask. If you're in a hurry to leave the class, it's a lecture hall, you can leave. No one is holding you. So sometimes I think that we can also try to make up our mind that we are not going to allow others to intimidate us in class.
So for instance,
because if we give the chance, they are going to do it to us. That's what I think.
So if I get you to like in an instance with a bank, let's say you're in the Parliament House and then there's a question or there's a motion before the House, you should make up your mind that no matter what happens, I'm not going to be intimidated by
yes.
kind of when it comes to
because I know what I'm standing on to speak. Especially if I'm making a point, you yourself, you understand the point. I believe in it, I know this is right. So I want to say it. You're not going to allow others. You only allow yourself to be intimidated if you yourself, you don't really understand what you're about to say, or you're not confident in what you want to say. I think that's one thing that can make us like.
Then it takes us back to the earlier point with our self-intimidation.
Yeah, something like she said.
Hey, so
I think I wanted to add a little bit to what my sister had said. I think self-confidence also matters in this situation. Because when you organize yourself properly and you stood up, at all time they know they'll come and intimidate you, but yet you can stand and speak boldly because of your self-discipline. I think that one too counts.
yeah, self-confidence.
Yes.
And
But how do you build self-confidence?
Yes.
How do you?
Can I come in? So like he said, if I'm coming to class, I know the topic I'm coming to treat in the next class is intimidation. I'll read about it. Try to know the pros and cons about that topic. So when I'm in class and the lecturer is teaching and I don't understand, or he tries to speak something that is in contrast with what I've studied, because I know what I've studied and I have already prepared ahead, I'm able to stand firm and ask a question. So no matter what others say, try to giggle and be like, I don't think that will try to overcome you and make you not to give the point you want to give out.
But intimidation is very good.
How does intimidation become?
It's very, very good. You see, I was a debater way back from that is from SHS 2 to 3 then I completed. As a debater, how can you come to Parliament and get intimidated? That means that I didn't really work on the way I speak, right? But currently, I cannot be intimidated because I learned that whenever you are being intimidated, you have to just go back and reverse and learn properly. And when you come, the language, your dressing and everything will be on point. So if someone is laughing at you in class, what you're supposed to do is that you have to make sure you answer questions that the person cannot answer.
Oh,
that's a plus to you. So now when you just like, oh, I can't do a shako, you could. You understand?
So you cannot come to self-confidence.
Yeah, I think he's adding to your self-confidence.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You understand? So I see intimidation as a very good tool to just shape human.
If I'm getting you right, after intimidation, you learn from the error.
Yes.
That's why you're saying intimidation.
Yes. I think.
But do I?
How about those who cannot prepare for it? Like those who feel, those who have low self-esteem, like they feel like they don't have enough money to go buy the dresses that other girls in school are wearing, or they can't afford certain things that you guys are affording. I'm not smart, so I can't give answers like you are.
Yeah.
So what do we do?
So with what she's saying about can't afford the kind of dresses that I don't think buying expensive dresses or clothes will make you feel confident in what you're wearing.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm wearing a normal t-shirt and a normal jeans. that doesn't cost that much.
Yes,
It's
know,
about how-
I even know the price.
That's just like,
Yeah, it's about how you're going to feel confident in what you're wearing.
what you wearing. So
You
like
get
I
it.
have this.
It's not about getting an expensive dress to an expensive phone or anything. It's about how you're going to feel, how you're going to feel in the dress you're wearing. You get it, and you yourself, you have to stand tall, feel confident in what you're wearing. You got it yourself. That's what you can afford.
Yeah.
You get, so you don't have to be like, because this person bought a dress which is, let's say, 500 cedis, 100 cedis, and she's feeling confident in it. Someone can wear a dress costing like 500 cedis and still not feel confident in the kind of dress the person is wearing. It's all about you. So you get it. So you having it in mind that I am who I am. You get it. This is what I can do, regardless of what I find the kind of situation I find myself in.
Felicia, so let me ask you this question. I went to another Parliament House, United Nations Parliament House, and then we are supposed to wear suits. Now, whenever you enter, they will check suit, belt, socks, everything on point. And I saw a guy in a certain white long sleeves without suit. The person was sad. The person was crying and everything. Yes, this person, how would the person go? Because the suit itself, you see my suit and someone's suit is perfect. Do you understand? But this person was not allowed to enter the auditorium. So how would this person feel? Okay,
Let me take you inside. I think that one is based on dress code.
Yeah.
Hey, it was a dress code.
Like mentioned earlier, it's a dress code I was given.
So if this is what we prescribe that we should wear, and you are wearing different things, you need to be cool.
Certainly, it's going to make you feel bad.
I think what he is saying is the person
It's
cannot
Not being able to afford the dress.
Person can say if you can't
There's
afford
the
the
code.
seats, then don't
There's,
come.
so this is the code there. That's the requirement for you to enter. You get it, and you know you are supposed to be there. So I'm not saying if you don't have the means to afford it, you don't. We
Like,
have
live
friends.
within your means.
You can live within your means. You can get a shoe that is not expensive than you think they are wearing.
Demonstration.
Because certainly there are others who are wearing shoes that are costing more than others in that same room. But who is coming to check the tag or the price of the shoes that you're wearing?
Yeah,
You
some
get it.
do deliberate
Absolutely.
things to intimidate you.
You get it. So if it's a dress code that is needed, I think that's the requirement over there.
So that one is not a form of intimidation.
No.
I don't think it's a form of
That one-
intimidation
Yeah.
because it's a requirement that is there. So when we're all coming here, look at the setting area we are in. We are having a program. We don't have to study. I read about the topic I want to discuss. I come up not read anything about the topic I want to discuss. When I come, what like you?
Just be down.
And I'll be quiet.
listening.
Just be listening to everybody here.
Get it.
In a way, I'll feel like the camera is on me and I'm not talking. I'll feel intimidated
So
because
shy.
they are intelligent. When it comes to the kind of topic we are discussing about, they are of higher intelligence than I am on that kind of topic.
Just because you haven't studied.
Studied about it, so I have no idea what the topic that is going
I
on.
think it's still a form of intimidation.
Exactly.
Just that I am at fault. Well, just that I am at fault doesn't mean that what you are doing to me is not any form of intimidation. Besides, I have two questions to ask my honorable here. Do I need to get intimidated before I get confident? Do I need to get me per se? I didn't get into any
Parliament,
debate. To
You
you
didn't
know
get
what I'm
that
saying.
grooming.
You know what I'm saying. So
I think I could.
yeah, I didn't get that kind of startup. So how do I become confident? I really need the answer.
Okay.
I really need the
So,
answer.
so,
Yeah.
so basically, the answer is just that. The answer are two. Okay, we have one. Read books. Right, the books that you are reading, you are supposed to read the book. Okay, out. You are not reading inside yourself. You have to read it out.
Read aloud.
Exactly. So if you are reading and then you just read within yourself like a storybook, you are just sleeping. All right, read it out. All right. Then the second one is that you just have to make sure whenever you see people, you interact with them most. You talk more. Even like talking. I know. All right. Why do I like talking? Because I want to build myself. You understand? And so if indeed you want to get rid of intimidation, then you're supposed to be intimidated before you know that the kind of pool that you are in is a pool of intimidators. Right? So you have to just
You have to
stand up.
survive.
Exactly. You understand?
Can you
So-
take that again?
You are talking about
Can you take
survival.
that?
Okay.
A pool of like.
Okay.
Can you take that?
Yes. So you have to just imagine yourself that you are in a pool of intimidators, and so you just have to just rise and then be like them. You can't just be down and then expect them to just carry you like that. No, it is like a dispenser. If you cannot survive, you have to die.
Survival of the fittest.
I think we even have this proverb in Accra. It says that nipa nyina da no mo ano ada no mo. If it's one ania, ombe
I don't understand.
Don't understand.
I don't understand.
That's
So
what
if all human beings are changing to animals, you have to change.
Yeah, you have to be like them.
Oh, okay.
If you go to room,
So
do
you
what
can
they
change
want
it to
to.
a different animal, not the same animal
So-
that they are in.
But you
Just to
you
add
really
up-
need
Be an
to.
To add up to the question you asked, so I was once like that. I never had any form of confidence. If I'm in class, I'm just sitting down. And then it was a deliberate attempt for me to get confident and for me to be able to speak up in class. And one way I did that was that I deliberately asked things that people didn't
Unnecessary.
ask. It's deliberate. It's not like I don't know. I even know
I
the
remember.
question to the answer I'm asking. But then
Yeah,
I
you
asked
used
it
to
and
do
people would be
that.
like, ask for
I
Napari.
think it's
Why
crazy,
is
you know.
People didn't know why I was doing that except myself because I knew what I wanted. I knew where I wanted to go. So I kept it to myself. So when I come, the lecturer teaches, and in any room, like anything comes to mind, I say it at the risk of being sacked at the class because I'm taking the risk to get to where I want to get. So a lecturer is teaching and then he asks a question. Then I raise my hand to answer the question. Then I also ask the same question in a different way. Not because I want to make ridicule of the lecturer or I want to waste the time of my colleagues, but because I want to be able to speak up in a position that in another position. I don't know if you get it. So deliberately doing things to get to where you want is what I could ask. So you know yourself that you are not confident. You know very well that you have very low self-esteem. You have to accept it and then you work on it. And the only way I think you can work on something is to deliberately work towards it. It's like you want to go out of a room. You have to use the door. That's the only way. If you can go through the walls, go through it. However way you want to get out. So I think that was what helped me in one of those situations, like deliberately. And most of anyone who knows me will know that so this guy used to ask questions, silly questions and all of that. Yes, I like it's silly questions
It's true.
to you, but to me it's like a very serious thing to me because I'm celebrating my efforts of even asking what I've asked. But no one knows. Everybody sees you have a confidence level. I give a question exactly, you can answer. If this no, it's not like that. It's deliberate. I intentionally wanted to get to where I am.
Yeah, I remember one instance like that. It was a gender class.
Yeah, gender class. So let me see my own story. So the lecturer asked us, who has been raped before?
Like the
So it was
like
about rape,
sexual abuse
sexual abuse and all that.
with boys.
And
No
like
one-
Yeah, I remember.
everyone was
I
down.
was there.
And I just raised my hand. And everybody was like, how? They thought I've had an
Abused
experience
sexually.
of, but
Right.
to me, that wasn't it. To me, it was an opportunity to stand up when everyone was down. That was how I saw it. So I raised my hand. The lecturer was like, are you sure you have been abused sexually? I was like, yes, madam. No, not because I wanted to make fun of it. Although everyone took it as fun. Everyone was laughing. But for me, it was a serious thing for me. In the sense that, hey, now everybody is quiet. All eyes are on me. If you let yourself down, you are going back to your square root. If you come out, you are coming out of the square root. It was a personal decision I took. And I did it. And it helped me. Because then now when I came to the next class, it was like, so the lecturer even got familiar with me. That if you ask any question, he adds up to my confidence. So the lecturer, yes, Napa, you don't have anything to say. Madam, because I want to build my confidence. I don't know if you get it.
I think
We solving intimidation. We can't solve it generally, but there is a way we can curb it to see it as. Because if you have been intimidated, one, when you go home, it will be in form of a homework to you. You should practice in the house. Then you see that this is the person who always intimidates you. When you practice well, when you meet the person, you know how to speak with the person.
Exactly.
Then you should put yourself in someone's shoe. You understand? Like if you have been intimidated, if this person has been intimidated like that, how will you feel? You feel bad. So when you do that kind of assignment and you come out, I'm telling you, you stand perfect. You'll be bold to speak or voice out without anything. I think you need to do a role. Sit down, look at your the thoughts. Okay, this is how I look alike. Oh, this is how I think. oh, this how they'll question you. Okay, then you analyze it, work on it, then you come out.
Alright,
Because
that's
after intimidation, we can't stop it. It will still exist. So the best is that you work on it and curb it in where you find yourself.
Yes, but then I think we all have different ways of dealing with our intimidations. What might intimidate you might not intimidate someone else. So, are there any thoughts? Any thoughts so far?
Okay. So when it comes to how to curb this intimidation thing, there is something known as comic visualization. That is, if you have someone who normally intimidates you and you realize that you cannot stand the person, the book I read was like, just always when you're there, try to imagine the person. Let's say I always find Eben or you intimidating. So when I'm in the house, I just imagine Eben dancing bobo. You see how funny it will be. I'll just realize that this person is a normal human being who can. I'm just visualizing it to myself, making myself at ease. You get it? So that I can realize this person is a normal human being. And
accepting the humanness
yeah,
in the person.
that they are not extraordinary. We can be like them. We cannot be equal. You get it? Like you said earlier on, what intimidates me cannot intimidate him. You realize that we can all be different. There are ways I can be more overconfident than he is, and there are ways I can also feel confident than I am. Maybe even like he is in the parliament house on campus. You see, that doesn't intimidate him. But with me, I can't join. It will intimidate me.
So find your space and
Find your space and then you occupy yourself there. You get it. So when you get to know yourself very well, you realize that there are a lot of things that cannot even intimidate you at all. Because I used to be a person that never liked talking in class until I tried joining poetry recital groups, debaters club, and the rest. I realized that I really fit and match well into those places. I can talk freely in class, ask my lecturers any question at all, and I'm just good to go. No matter what people talk about me, I don't really matter. And you get to realize that one thing too that can help is always learning ahead, especially in class, since we are all talking about what happens to students. You get it? So when you get to people who are trying to intimidate you, are always ahead of them. You'll be like, and who is this person? I'm even far better, good in academics than this person. So why does that person have to intimidate me in class when I know I'm much more better than you are? It won't intimidate you at all.
like self-motivation.
Yeah, self-motivation. You have to learn ahead. No matter what you're going to study in class, learn ahead and make sure that even if you don't understand, you have something to ask in class. And make your lecturers also know you. So that lecturers also cannot intimidate you because they know you are a good student in class. So they can't just intimidate you when you raise up your hand to ask questions in class.
I think, adding to your point, I think that one too will based on plan how to speak. You plan how to speak in public.
Repeat that again.
You plan how to speak in public. Because you can't just stand up and you start speaking anyhow.
So you should be doing your homework. In the homework, you should plan
You
it.
should plan how you speak in public.
I guess.
There is some words you shouldn't
You shouldn't
out.
use. Oh, that's brilliant. Yeah.
I think in a form of preventing intimidation, we can also intimidate people, as she said.
Wow.
She said that you have to tell yourself, or maybe you could voice out, maybe, who are you? Like, we are all humans, you know.
In your head.
In your head, right?
Yeah, I'm not saying like say it out.
Yeah.
Me
To
per
make
se,
yourself comfortable. Say it in your head to make you feel comfortable.
if you are saying that, cool. But me per se, I could really voice it out.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
if you
and
voice it
I
out,
think
it's a
that
form of-
would end you being intimidated too.
Okay.
So yeah, I really agree with him that intimidation cannot be curbed. Like, intimidation cannot be prevented, right? Totally,
So,
but it can be curbed. It can be shaped. You know what I'm saying?
So find a way to deal with it instead of finding a way to end it.
Yeah.
Instead,
Yes, please.
From what everyone has said, I think intimidation has more to do with the person being intimidated. So the way to solve this is to work on your self-esteem, because that's the only way you can prevent everything that is coming to you from reaching you. So you work on your self-esteem and then you're good to
it's
go.
like building a shield.
Yeah, build a shield.
Yeah.
So that you be inside your shield. No one gets there except through that shield.
Focus on what intimidates you and then you work on
Work
yourself
towards it.
in that area.
How to fight it.
I guess it's like
Alright, so basically I would say that it is caused by one, inferiority complex. Alright, you always see that, oh, I cannot do this, I cannot do that. As my friend here, he just said, I cannot speak in public.
Of course, I can.
Alright, and my answer was like, no, try. Alright, as you said, you just have to, if you know that you're a public speaker like myself, you have to just read books. And then when you read it, you just have to read it aloud. Right? Record yourself and then start to just play it. All the errors, all the things that you just made in that recording, you have to just correct yourself, and then you just have to move on. All right, as you said, self-esteem is very, very, very essential when it comes to public speaking and then also interacting with people. All right, and so that is one thing.
Okay, so to wrap up everything, all I have to say is that we should just take into consideration everything everyone has said here. This is just my notes from it. So the first was we should do our homework. So you went into a situation, you got intimidated, come back home, sit down, relax, correct yourself, and go back to that same situation. Then the next person was talking about us realizing that, oh, I've been intimidated because of a fault on myself, taking acceptance or responsibility for wherever you shot for, and then working towards it. And the third one was about inferiority complex.
Yes, please. You've forgotten your social studies.
So he's basically what he's trying to say is that instead of feeling inferior to yourself, you should actually see yourself big. Don't just write off yourself that as for me, I can't do this, I can't speak in class, I can't ask the question. If I don't understand, I'll ask a colleague and all of that. It helps, but then you should also try. Speak out in public. When you are there, record yourself. Maybe once in a while, you do a voice note to someone. Play it and listen to yourself. I think that could also help in your confidence. Another brilliant point was that in the process of you standing tall, don't look down on others. Don't make your confidence cover other people, overshadow other people. And then one last thing is that you shouldn't feel intimidated by someone being intelligent than you. You should always have that kind of confidence that, oh, this person is intelligent than me in this aspect. So I would also work on myself to become intelligent in this aspect, depending on your meaning of intelligence, right? So this would be the end of our discussion today. If you have not already, be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. And until next time, have a fun time.